So we're gonna get our hands ready for the MC for today, the master of bone marrow, the marketing hype man of AHN. Can we get a big applause for Calvin Hay?
Thank you, Bryan. Thank you. Wow, this is absolutely phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Whew. I'm gonna just take it in real quick. It's beautiful. Well, really to start off the day, I want to acknowledge you guys for really all being out here. I want to acknowledge the team for setting this up. You know, this took 4.5 weeks around, so if you can imagine, look at us coming together. I want to acknowledge the video production team. They're doing their best to, take us live. There's a little technical difficulties, but they're going to be capturing everyone over here. I want to acknowledge the event committee. That's Kathie, Kevin, Bonnie, Bryan, Maggie. Thank you guys so much. And I want to acknowledge the speakers, and most importantly, I want to acknowledge you guys. I'm hearing so many different people coming from around the states. This is Boston, this is Dallas, Las Vegas, Northern California. That might as well be another state. It's like the drive is ridiculous. So thank you guys again. Let's get a round of applause. Special shout out to the DJ too that just came, that will be providing music for us the entire evening. So a little bit about myself. My name is Calvin Hay. I am the founder and CEO of the Golden Marrow. It is bone marrow and fine dining served to the masses. All right? And our mission is to generate unforgettable experiences through food, community, and extraordinary smiles. I'm also the co-founder of Honeybell, which you guys will find out a little more about later. And anyway, today's not about me, it's about you guys. It's about what you guys can get out of today. All right? So, can you believe it, guys? Within weeks, this group has hit over 20,000 members, and today we're standing strong with 28,500 members. Wow, 28, can you believe that, guys? Woo! Global network, all right? So, and really, it wouldn't have happened if it weren't for you guys. And I want you guys to take a second, a real quick second, just look around your surroundings. Look around. Right? Sure, we may be different. We may have different backgrounds. However, we have one story, our own version of our own story. And there's one thing in common. And what is that? The backgrounds of how we grew up and the struggles and hustles we had to get here to be where we're at today. All in one place, together, rising up to what we think and believe could bring us that fulfillment and that success in our life. Each one of you, Asian or not, the background is the hustle mentality, the mindset that's gonna drive us to get to where we wanna be in our future life, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, right? For your future family, for your future spouse. Whatever that is, you guys are here because you guys are seeking growth. Now, how did that happen? A big enough vision, a huge one, that will forever shift the paradigm we were used to living in just a few weeks ago. By a couple who wanted more than just the average, who wanted to go against the norm. All right, without further ado, we have founders Bryan and Maggie in the house.
Hey guys, my name is Bryan Pham. I'm the founder of Asian Hustle Network. I want to start by thanking you. Change the mic real quick. You guys hear me better? You guys, my name is Bryan Pham. I'm the founder of Asian Hustle Network. I want to start off by thanking all you guys for coming out today. You guys are absolutely amazing, dude. It's a Sunday morning. You guys are here to learn. I love it. I want to say thank you to all our sponsors and all the volunteers for helping us out. I want to say thank you to Calvin and Kevin for making this event possible, because without them, the event would not happen at all. So thank you guys so much for that. I want to say thank you to my moderating team. Can you guys please stand up real quick? Thank you to my moderating team, these awesome guys over here. Has helped us moderate over 250,000 posts, likes, and comments in the last 28 days. So thank you guys for all your efforts and hard work. I also want to say that I am from LA, so having this event today is very special to me. You know, I grew up in San Gabriel, Temple City area, so I'm very happy. And I also want to say thank you for my parents for coming out and supporting me. Thank you, Mom and Dad. You guys are awesome. I want to say, so we started Asian Hustle Network on November 8th, 2019, only 3 months ago. And the reason why we did is because we wanted to create this environment where we can be sharing our ideas together, be very bright, vibrant, and uplift each other in any kind of situation. We created this group, and the support from you guys we got has been super positive, like very overwhelmingly positive. Really appreciate everything you guys do for us. But this is just the beginning, you know? And then for us, we're thinking that we will definitely hit 1 million members by the end of 2020. And that's just the beginning, just because we want to be able to create a foundation for the future. We want to be able to set the foundation for our future generations to succeed, to be more visible in the Asian community, to be more visible in mainstream media, to be more visible in corporate ladders and investment ladders. So I just want to say this is just the beginning, guys. Thank you guys for the support, and here's Maggie.
Can you guys hear me? Yes. 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 Hello? Okay, you guys can hear me, right? Okay, perfect. My name is Maggie Chui, and I am the co-founder of Asian Hustle Network. And I just wanted to thank you guys all for coming out here tonight. I know it is early on a Sunday morning, but I am so glad to be able to meet you guys all in person today. Like Bryan said, we just created the group 3 months ago, and now we are almost at 30,000 members. That's amazing. Every now and then, I get someone who asks me, Maggie, why the goal of 1 million members? What if we actually get there? What then? And I always respond with the same thing. 1 million members is not a destination. We do not stop working after we get to 1 million members. 1 million members is a benchmark. It's a perceived goal so that we can continue to reach higher. We're already making a big difference with 28,000 members. Imagine what we can do with 1 million members. Our voices will be louder. Our wave will be bigger. We are not asking for ourselves to be put on the map. We are demanding it. I understand that some people may feel that once we get to 1 million members, our message may be diluted and the quality of our posts may decrease. But that is why we have such an amazing moderating team and amazing members like yourselves who believe in our mission and who are aligned with our vision to create a global impact by bringing the Asian entrepreneurial community together and to empower and support each other in pursuing our dreams and goals. We've built a home for Asian entrepreneurs to build connections, to seek inspiration, and to feel as if they have a safe space so that they can share their stories and their hustles. This group is purely made from the heart. We found a problem in our Asian entrepreneurial community, and we are on our way to fix it and to make a global impact. This group wouldn't be possible without the immense unity, support, and camaraderie from each and every one of you guys. Bryan and I created this group, and into a couple of weeks, we received such amazing feedback, such as, I've never seen anything like this before, or I wish I found something like this when I first started out in my entrepreneurial journey. And we realized that this was more than just managing a Facebook group. This is about creating a movement. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we are on a wave right now. We are on a big wave for the Asian entrepreneurial community. And timing is always so, so important. And I wanted to let you guys know that this is our wave. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan and Maggie. Can we get another round of applause for them? So, you guys are awesome. This is just awesome. This is a platform. Look at all of us coming together. So now that you know a little bit about Bryan and Maggie's vision, I'd like to share a little bit before introducing our next guest. So, have you guys ever wanted something so bad where it just felt out of reach? What's that? Sorry, excuse me. So, as I was saying, have you guys ever wanted something so bad that you guys thought it was out of reach? Yeah? Yes. That was the San Francisco meetup for me. So my next thought was, wow, I would love to get the Southern California hustlers together over a boba. Now, I post that up, and within minutes, I get 12 people comment. Within a couple hours, maybe 24. Now, hours later, 100 people commented on the post wanting to meet up. My next initial thought was Facebook. I'll just make a Facebook event page. Let's do it. You know, hit up Bryan and Maggie. Let's do this, SoCal. Now, within hours, over 100 people confirmed. I stopped blasting it right there and then. I was like, well, first, prior to this, the only event that I've ever set up was a 25-person Christmas party. And I was frustrated already. Now, let alone, there's 100 people confirmed. My next thought was, am I gonna do this at a golf course? Am I gonna do this in a parking lot, at a park? What am I supposed to do? So I sat with that for 2 nights, just sleeping and turning and tossing, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? But guess what? I saw this community really rising up. The community was growing in numbers by the thousands within days. And I saw how supportive this community was, and I was like, well, I have to reach out. So I reached out, I put a post up, a video, and I requested for support. I don't know how to do this. I'd never done this before. I'm scared, but I know that you guys have my back. And now when I put up that post, how many people DM me, messaged me, commented? Dozens. People who own clubs in OC, people who own clubs in LA, in San Diego. Hey, I have this club, I have this venue. It can fit 50 people. Hey, I have this venue, it has 100 people. And then Kevin, CEO, reaches out and he's like, yo, I know the developers and the owner of Haven City Market. Can we get a shout out to Kevin and Tommy, who is the owner of this space? Thank you so much, guys. And guess what? This event is a $0 budget event. Now, speakers to venues to volunteers, $0. Because we see that there is more than trying to help ourselves. We see that bringing the community together will really launch us to who we want to be in life. So, to continue on, Kevin, he locks down the event, and now there's 100 people confirmed. Now there's 200, now there's 300, now there's over 700 people confirmed, right? And that happened in the matter of 4.5 weeks. 4.5 weeks. Now, that's what's possible for you guys in this network. And I shared this with people that this network is stronger than Google. Whatever business that you guys ever dreamt of, whatever life that you ever dreamt of is available through this network. It's stronger than Google because if you wanted to get in the CBD industry, if you wanted to get into real estate, if you wanted to get into podcasting space, into the food industry, guess what? You ask that in a post and you'll get answers within seconds, within, if not minutes. And these answers are years, decades of experiences, decades of failures, decades of successes that you're getting that Google cannot get you. These are relationships, real-time relationships, neighbors that we never knew existed until the Asian Hustle Network came. Now, the next guest is a dear friend of mine and who I really looked up to for years. He didn't have this network. He didn't have this community when he first started. Can you imagine that? We have a community of 28,000 people. This individual did not have that. I'm just getting so moved right now. Excuse me. A network of 28,000 powerful individuals within your fingertips. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our next guest, Andy Nguyen.
Morning, guys. You guys here? What's up, AHN Network? Good morning. Sunday, tough for everyone to get up. I was up till 2 in the morning partying with my friends, and I somehow still made it here today. Few gagging in the restroom, but I'm here, I'm good now. Thank you guys for showing up. I look forward to sharing a few stories with you guys today. I'm gonna start off with a few questions. If you guys agree, raise your hands. If not, it's okay. Raise your hands if you guys believe in having superpowers. Like a third of the room. Okay. Have you ever sat in your classroom as a kid and imagined being a superhero like Superman, Batman, the X-Men, Wonder Woman? How about something more interesting like Mickey Mouse or the Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers? Ninja Turtles? Yeah. The reason why, of course, these characters I mentioned are characters that I sat in class and imagined myself as, and being a ninja and saving the world, or those are things that I imagined myself as when I was growing up as a kid. I enjoy their superpowers like breaking through walls and laser vision and flying, but I also really enjoy the characteristics. I love that they have courage, that superheroes are always, they discover their powers and they're trying to figure out what to do with it, and they have this responsibility of doing something great. Their selflessness, their courage, like those are the things I really enjoy about the superhero theme and superpowers. Raise your hands if your parents want you to be a teacher, doctor, pharmacist, lawyer. If you're Asian, you better have your damn hands up. Keep your hands up if that's something you wanted to be as your career. One person in this room, really? Those are great careers to have, very tough, very difficult, amazing things to do. Just wasn't for me. I decided to do something else. Before I go more into about my career and superpowers, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my story and how I grew up. I'm a Vietnamese American. My parents moved here from Vietnam after the war in the 70s. They actually met here in the United States, and they got married and ended up in Orange County. I grew up my entire life in Little Saigon. Raise your hands if you've been to Little Saigon in Westminster. Hey! For those who've never been there, if you've been around that area, most people look just like me. I was born and raised in that area. I grew up in, as a kid, I was up there in the late 80s, 90s, 2000s. And as an Asian American kid growing up in Orange County, I was very shy, awkward. I was scared of everything. I didn't speak my first words until I was 4 years old. My parents were freaking out. Oh my God, we have a mute. He doesn't say anything. Thank God I'm talking today. Growing up in Westminster in the 90s it's completely different than it is now. It's a lot nicer now. A lot of cool things popped up, but back then it was a lot of gangs, a lot of kids moving over from Vietnam, first generation, second generation. And as I was a kid going through the school system there, I went to elementary school, and I was a good kid for the first, second, third grade. And just like everyone else as a kid, you just want to fit in. You're trying to find your footing. You're trying to find your group of friends that you can fall in line with. And the group of friends that I happen to fall with happen to be the troublemakers, because they're the only ones that accept me in. So 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, you see my grades start slipping, start getting in more trouble. And I go to junior high, And junior high is like that weird, awkward place too. You're there for 2 years. You're learning a lot of new things. You're in a different school setting. You're making new friends at this point. And junior high got really tough for me because I started getting really bad grades. I was getting in fights all the time. And I remember friends that were already freshmen in high school, and I was an 8th grader. And my friend in high school was telling me, hey, you're gonna hate high school. It's gonna be like the worst experience ever. There's a lot of gangs here. You're gonna get picked on. You get bullied every day. And in my head, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go. Please, like, don't send me to high school. Like, how do I fail and stay back to junior high again? During that summer of 8th grade, before going to high school, I kept thinking about it all time and time again. In my head, I was like, this is gonna be the worst experience ever. I'm not looking forward to this. And it was stuck in my head. And by the time I got to high school, all those thoughts became a reality, became real. I was getting picked on all the time. I got bullied. I got suspended. I was arrested. I was on probation that year, so I couldn't be outside after 10 p.m. And I was only passing 2 classes. I was passing choir and basketball, and those are electives that you shouldn't probably fail anyways. And by the end of that school year, can you guys guess what happened to me? I got kicked out of school. Best Asian ever. Imagine your parents coming, my dad coming into the school, the vice principal telling him, we're kicking your son out of school. And my dad obviously is thinking in his head, how are you born in America and failing English and Asian failing math? Like, what's wrong with you? You're like the worst Asian ever. So I got kicked out of school and I got sent to continuation school. Has anyone been to continuation school, get kicked out of school? Good. Continuation school for me was not at a nice school. Continuation school was at a weird, creepy office, far, far away somewhere else. Tiny classroom, bunch of pregnant girls in there, bunch of gangsters in there. I didn't fit that mode. Continuation school, you go there once a week. You go once a week to pick up your homework. And I would go there, pick up my homework, and the rest of the week I'd be at home. And when you're at home for the first week, amazing. Like, yeah, I gotta watch TV and wake up whenever I want to. Week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5 becomes like a drag. Like, this is the worst thing ever. I'm like having the worst time of my life. I just want to be around people. I'd rather get bullied than be at home by myself. And I had to start thinking about what I wanted to do further. Do I want to keep being this troublemaker? Do I want to keep being this bad kid disappointing my parents? I could probably finish continuation school and graduate early, or I could work hard and ask the school to let me back in. And I knew if I wanted to get back into school, I couldn't be the same person I was before. I couldn't be that person that was letting everyone pick on me. And I had to find that footing of who I really wanted to be. So I thought back to my superhero theme. I thought back to people and qualities that I really enjoyed. But then I also gained new types of superheroes. My new superheroes were like rappers. My new superhero were like basketball players. Kobe, Jay-Z, DMX. So those are things that kind of molded me into who I am today. I fell in love with hip hop culture, urban culture. And by the time junior year hit, I got my grades up. I did really well in continuation school. My high school allowed me to come back in. And in my high school, I started participating in all the clubs. Like, if you look at my list of like my yearbook, that everyone has the same last name as me. Besides that, you see my list that says I'm in choir, I'm in basketball, I'm in impact club, key club. Any club I could join, I would join. Just because I wanted to be around people. And that was the most important thing to me, was being around other people. I missed, when I got back, I realized how much I missed being around other people. And my junior year and senior year, I started developing my personality, and I got named the school's best dressed. And as the school's best dressed, I remember also they gave me another title at school. When I told you guys before I was weird and awkward, like a little caterpillar, they gave me the school's social butterfly title. And I was like, oh cool, I'm a butterfly now, cute. After you graduate high school, what are you supposed to do? Go to college. But on my record, obviously I got kicked out of school. You don't get to go to the UCs, you don't get to go to the Cal States. I had to go to community college. I went to Orange Hills College. Anyone here go to Orange Hills College? 10-year plan school? I went to Orange Hills College, and I took all my general ed courses, and I remember the course that really shifted everything for me was career planning. Has anyone taken career planning before? No one's ever taken career planning? Okay. You guys all know what you wanted to do? Cool. Career planning. When I took career planning, you take all these surveys, right? And I took these surveys, and these surveys, in my head, I was thinking, I'm gonna be a music producer, I'm gonna be a sports agent, I'm gonna be like a dancer. When I did these surveys, I got office admin, janitor. I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing any of this shit. This is crazy. There's no way. And then I had a best friend. My best friend, his name was Polo. Polo happened to drop out of college 6 months into it. He dropped out because he ended up going to real estate. Does anyone want to do real estate as a career or currently in real estate? I was on the opposite end of the field. I didn't want to do real estate. I had no idea what real estate was about. And he's like, I'm working for this really young guy right now. He's super ballin'. He drives a Range Rover, and he's working for himself. He's like, do you want to learn with me, and we can start our own company? I was like, what? You can start your own company? There's no way. Like, we're only 18 years old. That's not possible. We don't. In the early 2000s, we didn't know any of our friends that have their own companies. That was not a thing. When I thought of people in their own companies, I thought of people in suits. I thought of people in beautiful, tall offices, and that's what I pictured as a business person. But what intrigued me was, it wasn't about doing real estate. I was like, real estate, cool, whatever, making a lot of money, yeah, whatever. The thing that intrigued me was, we can start our own company. And I was like, wow, that's super unique, that's super cool, I don't know anyone's doing it, that's what I want to do. So I told my parents, I'm going to do both. I'm going to still stay in school and do the real estate thing, but I just dropped out. I didn't tell them, I lied to them. I became a real estate appraiser. I took my test, I got my license, and I did that for about 3 years. What I learned in that was, I learned how to make a lot of money. I learned how to develop my business professional skills. I learned how to talk to other people. Imagine a 19-year-old kid working in real estate, coming with bleach hair, telling you like, I'm gonna go appraise your house, let me go measure your house and take pictures. Like, I look crazy. Like, you wouldn't give an 18-year-old kid to go tell you how much your house is worth. But I had to learn, I had to work really hard, I had to hustle my way in. And I did really well for 3 years. And I happened to have another friend. My other friend, his name was Michael. Michael was starting his own clothing brand. Does anyone in here want to start their own clothing brand or currently have a clothing brand? Cool, good amount of you guys. He started this brand called Sintuvat Lee. And if you guys are as old as me, you guys used to use AIM. He hit me up on AIM and he was like, hey Andy, I'm starting a new clothing brand and I need a model. Can you be a model of my lookbook? And I was like, hell no, I'm not doing it. I'm not a model. He goes, I'll give you free clothes. I was like, cool, what do you want me to do? What do you need me to do? I'll do whatever you want. So I ended up doing the photo shoot. And after the photo shoot, we built a closer bond. And he's like, I need to get an office space. I can't afford a big office space. So you guys can get one, you can do your real estate thing on one side, I'll do my clothing thing on the other side. I was like, okay, cool. And when we shared this office, he was in this little corner, making his designs, doing cool work. You can see me every single day just gravitating towards him. I'm like, what you're doing is way cooler than what I'm doing. I don't care if you're not making any money. That's what I want to do. He ended up closing that brand, and he started a new brand. The brand was called Arisu. And when he started Arisu, I asked him, I was like, hey, I have some money left over. Can I invest my money into your brand? I want to be a partner. I want to do this clothing thing with you. And he told me, no. And I was like, why not? He said, I don't think you're ready. I was like, what do you mean? I'm ready. I can do this. I'll do a great job. He's like, no, I'm not going to let you do this. So I got super upset. I was like, fuck this guy. I'm going to stick around and learn what I need to learn. And I went back to my best friend Polo. I was like, hey, I got this great idea, Polo. Let's go start our own brand, and we're going to take these guys out. And then I came up with this brand called Imaginary Kingdom. I refer to the kingdom as your brain. That's the most valuable thing that you own. And this is where all your ideas come from. So you get the word Imaginary Kingdom. And when you cut the words Imaginary Kingdom down, you get the nickname I'm King. I'm King to me was about being a leader. It was about community. It was about change. And the great thing about this was, I had no idea what I was doing. This industry was so new to me. I had to pick up on it as fast as I could. Completely different from the real estate field. And over time, I started noticing people were camping out in front of our warehouse or there'll be our new launches, people camp out to buy our clothes. And I'm like, why? I don't get it. Why would you sleep overnight to buy our t-shirts? That's crazy to me. But I realized that the reason why people were doing that was because they were connected to us. We were so different than a lot of other brands out there because we were about the community. We're sharing our stories. We're sharing our successes, our failures. We're being real. We're making videos of like, you know, us pretending we're like wrestlers and breaking through chairs, like stupid shit. We also rented out skating rinks. We rented out movie theaters, and we'd invite everyone to come through and hang out with us, and we'd pay for everything. Like, just come out. We want to thank you guys for supporting our brand. We just want to be friends with you guys, and that's why I think over time I built a really strong following. And I did that for about 7 years, and in that 7 years, we've been able to work with a lot of celebrities. Kendrick Lamar, Justin Bieber, Travis Scott, Carmelo Anthony, the list goes on of the people that we've been able to work with. And if you are in the fashion field, in the clothing apparel field, you'll know that this is fashion. This is the fashion industry. Trends are like this, things change. People stopped shopping at stores, now people are shopping online, and everything was continuing to shift. I did the clothing thing for about 7 years, and 7 years is like a lifetime in clothing. It's very hard to like break through to even your first year. For us to get to 7 years is an amazing thing. I traveled a lot for trade shows, and during my traveling, I found out a new hobby, and my new hobby happened to be food. Eating out, trying new places was a thing that I really enjoy doing. How many of you guys here use Yelp to eat? Yelp for me was like a game. I treated Yelp like how kids play Fortnite these days. I would put in New York. I would put in top reviewed places on the list, and I would bookmark all of the top places, and I would write about it on my blog. I would try and test new places out all the time. One thing I started noticing was, I remember being in like San Francisco, Japan, New York, and I'd go into these like unique ice cream stores. These ice cream stores had flavors I'd never seen before. I was like, what the hell? I didn't even know you could turn these flavors into ice cream. If you're in Orange County like 6-7 years ago, you only had your 3 usual brands. You had Baskin Robbins, you had Thrifty, you had Cold Stone. Great brands, didn't fit who I was. So I was super inspired, and I started jotting down ideas of flavors that I grew up with, flavors that I really enjoyed eating, and I kind of just gave away the idea to all my friends. I was so busy with the clothing thing at the time, and I was like, hey, do you want this free ice cream idea? You make a lot of money. I don't have time to do it. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, I guess. And I had a friend that I grew up with, and we were both sharing stories about the dessert field and how we could change the game. And we both had very similar ideas. So he said, you know what, let's just do it. Let's go make this thing happen ourselves. So we used to work out at LA Fitness all the time. We're trying to get buff, like trying to bench 2-3 plates at a time, and we're sitting there figuring out like, we need to do this ice cream thing right now. And we happened to find the store across the street from where we worked out. And the store was called Lola's Ice Cream and Deli in Pham Valley. Anyone know where Pham Valley is here? If you don't live in Orange County, most likely you've never heard of Pham Valley. So we found this ice cream store, and they had this gentleman there. He was about 64-year-old Caucasian male. And we walk in the store, his store's open like once every other week, just because he feels like it. He has a lot of money, he's like, I don't care. And we walk in there and we're like, hey, we want to buy you out, we want to take over your ice cream store. And he's like, I still want to make ice cream. I was like, okay, well shit, I don't know how to make ice cream. How do we team up and figure this out? So we're telling him all these crazy ideas like, oh, I want to make this blue ice cream. I want to make this jasmine milk tea flavor and make it lavender. And his mind was like, what the hell is milk tea? I was like, oh great, this is going to be an interesting situation. So we started developing all these flavors, and we took off the word Lola's and Deli, and we kept the word ice cream. And the ice cream, you see the nasty blotchy paint, and the sign doesn't even line up just as ice cream. It doesn't say afterwards. It's like super cheesy. 2 reasons why we did that was, one, we didn't want to pay $5,000 for a new sign. The second reason was, we wanted to show these corporate companies that we could build a brand without having to do the normal, typical branding marketing skills. We wanted to change things. We wanted to shift things. We wanted to show the industry we were the bad boys of ice cream. We're gonna fuck shit up. So we painted. If you walk into our stores, you can see we painted our stores all black. We had these funny quotes on the walls. We had loud music playing through the speakers. Youth culture working there, and we knew that ice cream itself would not change the game. So we kept thinking of different ideas. We started with different flavored waffles. We couldn't execute right. We tried like taco shells. We tried all these other things, and it didn't make sense. And then one day we thought it was like a jelly-filled donut, and we're like, hey, let's remove the jelly and put ice cream in it. Let's see what happens. And we tested it out. We're like, bingo, we got it. And we came out a little after the Corona got popular and the ramen burger was super big in New York, and we were at the perfect time. The perfect storm hit. No one on the West Coast was doing anything, and we just hit boom. Next thing you know, we opened in February 15th, 2014. And you open an ice cream store in February, you're thinking, it's gonna give us time to learn this industry. I've never worked in food a day in my life before that. Next thing you know, we have lines down the block every single day, and I'm like, oh shit, how do we keep up with this? And we had to learn how to grow quickly. We had to learn how to build our systems as fast as we could, because we had to be able to accommodate thousands of people every single day in a 400 square feet store. Like, we were making our ice cream in the back of the store. We had our ingredients set out in the front like crazy people, but we made it work. And 6 years later, we have 28 locations throughout Southern California. And throughout that period, I learned that I wanted to continue to do more projects. I didn't want to keep wondering and have these ideas stuck in my head. So along the way, I started getting presented with new opportunities and new projects along the way, and I met new people and new business partners, and I started launching different concepts. I launched concepts like Pigpen, one location out here in Riverside and Long Beach, and a project called Project Poke. We got famous for launching the sushi donut. We got 80 million views on BuzzFeed in like 2 weeks and had lines wrapped around our store. We've developed brands like Roundhouse Burger, Portside Fish Co. Created a brand called Orng Cnty. It's because I saw the lack of people wearing Orng Cnty brands. I kept seeing people living in Orng Cnty wearing LA stuff, and I'm like, you're not from LA, stop wearing that. So it lit a fire in me that I was like, hey, if anyone's gonna represent Orng Cnty, I'm gonna put it on my back and I'm gonna represent it the best way I can. I don't have a lot of time left, so I'm gonna share with you guys some of my tips. Hopefully I remember some of it right now. Some of the tips I carry with me every single day and that I love to share with other people are, I feel like it's people and passion over profit. I want to focus always on people. That's why I'm here speaking to you guys. It's always about focusing on community, working with other people, sharing ideas. The more I focused on doing my things I'm passionate about, the more I started focusing on helping other people, I started making a lot more money than I did anyways. The more I started, when I was working for survival mode or working for money, things never really worked out. Like, I made money, but I also lost a lot of money at the same time. So the more I focused on building a solid brand, solid foundation, solid community, is when things really started to thrive. Things really started to change. I talk about in grade school, when I share with the students, I always share, surround yourself with people who will show you that anything is possible. If you're in like junior high, high school, elementary, if you look at your 5 closest friends at the time, right? Your 5 closest friends, you're most likely gonna dress like them, you'll talk like them, you'll share a lot of the same interests, you'll listen to a lot of the same music. Coincidentally, I picked up my friend Wally today, and he happened to wear the same exact outfit as me today. So if you surround yourself with a lot of troublemakers, you already knew what happened. I got into a lot of trouble. Once I started, these days I surround myself with a lot of creatives. I surround myself with people like you guys, entrepreneurs, creatives, people that are strong in different fields that I want to learn from, just so I can elevate myself. And I think the reason is, when you're around your friends, you're naturally going to compete with your friends. No one wants to be the weakest link in their group, right? You don't want to be the worst person in your group, so you're always going to work harder. If your friend's doing something cool, you're like, if he's doing something cool, I got to step my game up right now. And that's how I always kind of treat my life as. Another tip is, things will not go the way you imagine, right? If you met me 6 years ago when you told me, hey, Andy, you're gonna be like this restaurant guy that owns a bunch of different concepts, I'll say, you're fucking crazy. There's no way. There's no way. Like, I don't know how to cook. I've never worked in food in my life. I never worked as a waiter, never in the front of the house, nothing. And I thought I was working apparel, I thought I was working clothing forever. But then my life took a completely different turn, and it's still taking a completely different turn. And it turned out a lot better than I ever imagined. So don't get stuck. I always just stay open-minded. I don't get stuck on one thing. I just continue to let it blossom. I always share this thing called a passion chaser. I believe I'm a passion chaser. And when I talk about passion chasers to me are about 4 different things. One is believing in yourself. You know, my parents, imagine I'm Asian and I go to my parents, hey mom, dad, I'm gonna go start a clothing brand. They're like, please don't start a clothing brand. I'm like, why are you starting a clothing brand? Like, don't do it. Hey mom and dad, I'm gonna go open an ice cream store. Oh, let's go back to school. You know, I had to believe in myself. I had to prove them, like, hey, what I'm doing is something that I really believe in. And these days, you don't question me. I can do whatever you want now. Number 2 is challenge yourself. Yeah, I didn't finish school. Yeah, I got kicked out. Yeah, I was a shitty student. But I'm still learning all the time. I'm asking questions. I'm learning from other people. I read different types of books. I'm always challenging myself to do better and get better. Third thing is you gotta actually, a lot of people have amazing ideas. I'm sure you guys have thousands of crazy ideas every day. I get people messaging me all the time. I came up with that ice cream donut thing before you did. I'm like, hey, well, sucks for you. I opened it first. It doesn't matter how many ideas you have. Ideas don't mean jack shit unless you turn into action. You never know what's going to happen unless you actually go for it and see what happens and see it through. And the 4th thing is, of course, love what you do. Another great tip is most of people's first businesses, right? Most first businesses, people tell you like what the fail rate is like 90-something% fail rate in your first business, right? So I tell people, you gotta try. And you gotta try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. It doesn't matter how many times you try. You only have to be right one time. Once you hit, you can try and continue failing and failing and failing, but once you hit success one time, everything changes. Everything changes, your mindset gets a lot better. You start building so much more confidence in yourself. Your skill set is a lot stronger. And these days, I failed so many times in my life, but now I'm hitting success more. I'm hitting the success point more. So the more I try, the more I keep hitting this point. So it may not be your first business, your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, it may be your 10th business, 11th business. But once you hit that one and you strike, you need to take advantage of it. When I'm 150 years old and I have like 60 grandchildren, I want to be able to tell them that I lived the greatest story ever told. I want to tell them that I never regretted a thing, that anything I imagined, I tried my best to bring it to life. Whether it worked out or not, I tried my best. I may not be able to fly through walls and have laser vision and do crazy superhero stuff, but I can dress like them. When I talked to you guys about superpowers earlier, I feel like I have a superpower. My superpower is being able to connect to others. My superpower is about finding amazing talent and blossoming their career and taking them to different heights. I feel like my superpower is having special impacts on not just my inner circle, but within my community. I have my own group of super friends. My group of super friends are very hardworking. They are people that came from my companies before. They are generating hundreds of millions of dollars in their companies now. And we all push each other to drive each other to do better. And I think you guys need to find who your super friends are to continue to push each other. I feel like everyone has a superpower, and you might not unlock it today, you might not unlock it tomorrow, but when you do figure out what it is, you need to take advantage of it. And hopefully, with those superpowers, you use it for good. I don't have a lot of time left, but I'm having an amazing time being a part of the AHN network. I've met a lot of people through here. I have a lot of friends that are on it. And I hope that I get to continue to meet all you guys and share different stories. And some people, maybe some of you guys that I meet here today, we might have businesses together later on, or you might have a special impact on my life on certain things. And I want to thank you guys for having me a part of it. And thank you, AHN Network.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. So I just want to ask a question. What do you see available in this network that you did not have when you were starting your businesses?
I think this network, the great thing about this network is it opens up a lot of resources. You're finding people in so many different fields You know, I met, like I did a post about it the other day, I met Alan. Alan came out to film an event for me. I met someone in the real estate development field not too long ago. I have people DMing me about different ideas and concepts. I have special meetings I have meetings with people coming up soon about different projects and ideas. It's just open, the resources are open, and you get a lot of people that are willing to help and willing to share a lot of answers and guidance, and I think that's one of the amazing things about the Asian network.
So, where can people find you, Andy? So you can find Andy on Instagram, Andy the Nguyen, right? Anything else? Well, thank you guys. This is Andy Nguyen.
All right, guys. Excuse me. Check. Hello, everyone. If you guys just joined in the middle, you guys didn't miss much. You guys missed a whole lot, actually, but you guys, there's still like another portion to today. Anyway, thank you, Andy Nguyen. Another round of applause. Now, this next person is someone very, very, very dear to me. And it's someone who I've seen grown up very, very quick because her vision propelled her to do so. And while she was being dragged with this vision, I was also being dragged too. I had no choice. So this is my partner in life, my partner in my businesses. I am honored to introduce my future wife, current fiance, Cherng.
Testing, can you hear? Testing.
Just hold it.
Just hold it. Hi. So I just want to say I'm so excited to be here, and Calvin, I really acknowledge you for setting all this up. I know that it's been something that you've been handling for weeks, and you've been really excited. You've been putting a lot of energy and time into all this. And how many of you have seen Calvin's posts on Facebook? Can I get a raise of hands? Wow. Yeah. So Calvin's been super active on the Facebook group, and it's been super cool to see all of you guys commenting, supporting each other, and reaching out to each other for just to connect and to share with each other. So give yourselves a big round of applause for all that energy and passion. So my intention to speak today isn't just to support Calvin as his fiance and support system, but I am here representing the Asian American female entrepreneurs out there. Can I get a, oh yeah, for all the female bosses out there. So I am the CEO of Belle. It's a beauty and wellness company that started in my kitchen, and we have skincare products and wellness products now sold in over thousands of stores. And our mission is to spark fearless self-confidence through daily and simple and intentional self-care rituals. So when I started my company, I was 21 years old, and my intention to share this with you is that my talk today is all about being unstoppable. How many of you have had fears and you've wanted to do something and you felt like, oh my gosh, I just don't know how, I don't have the resources, I don't have the people, I don't know what it takes. How many of you have been stopped before? Yeah, so Today, I want to really invite you to see, what's been stopping you. What's something that you've always wanted to do? Maybe it's somewhere in your career, maybe it's with a new social network, maybe it's with your fitness, whether it's a passion project like starting a podcast. It really is all about chasing your passions, like what Andy said. And to continue on with my story, I started Honeybell when I was 21 years old. And during that time, I was pretty lost. I was in the midst of a breakup. My boyfriend at the time in college went to jail. He was incarcerated every 6 to 8 weeks, it seems like. And I felt like I was just losing everything. I started doing drugs, and I was, just in this world that I was like so helpless and lost, and I just didn't know where I was going. And as a Asian American, my parents are both Taiwanese. They immigrated here when they were about 30. I was a parachute baby, meaning they were pregnant when they went on the plane and then came here and birthed me, so I have an American citizenship. Is anyone else a parachute baby in here? All right, a few of you. So my mom has always been really involved with my life. I went to school at UC Santa Barbara, and in between my 3rd and 4th year, that's when all these things started happening, and I was so lost. I was changing my major. I didn't get into the major I decided I wanted to go into. I was on the route to go graduate with communications, and all of a sudden I didn't meet my last prerequisite, and I was changing my major. My boyfriend was going to jail. I was getting into drugs. I was getting in trouble with the police and getting questioned and getting harassed by the police, it seemed like. I went home one summer, and I had 4 weeks at home. During that time, my mom had just got into making her own lotions because she was experiencing allergies to a lot of department store products. And during that time, she invited me to sell her lotion to my friends. And before that, every time I came home from school, she would put a bottle of lotion on my desk and be like, sell this to your friends. And I'm like, Mom, really? None of my friends are gonna buy this. It's like a blue bottle, there's a circle label on it, it says Dr. Howe's formula. And it was just so like janky looking, and I was like, Mom, like the branding is not there and no one's gonna buy this. Everyone's buying like Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works right now. So that was 2013, and I told my mom she was crazy. I said no to her for what it felt like the 10th time, and during right when I moved back home for that summer, she asked me for the 10th time. I said finally, like, yes, fuck it. I have nothing to lose. I'm in this space, like I have 4 weeks left before my 4th year. Like let's go. So I listed out words for natural, and I listed out words for beauty. And then when I put honey and Belle together, I just fell in love with it. I ran to my brother's room, knocked on his door, and I said, hey, bro, can you make me a logo? He's like, okay. And I started then, that's where Honeybell was birthed, in my kitchen. Just an Instagram name, a couple of photos, and some product recipes that I was just making in the kitchen. And so my 4th year comes, I bring all of my supplies with me to Isla Vista, right? Who's partied before in Santa Barbara? Anyone partied before? So if you've ever been to Santa Barbara and partied there, it's a really interesting college space. There's like 6 people in like a 2-bedroom house, and it gets really dirty and messy, and everyone's partying all the time. So I brought my supplies there, and I didn't end up using the supplies at all. I took almost a 1-year hiatus from Honeybell, and I was so wrapped up because going back to school, I was, my ex-boyfriend, he was in jail, and he would be calling me from jail, and I'd be visiting him, and in the midst of all that, I met Calvin, who was like the angel of my life at the time, and yeah, woo! We're actually getting married this November, so yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I met Calvin in my 4th year, and we we were just going through the motions, you know. I was busy trying to finish school. I didn't want to get kicked out and I didn't want to drop out. I just wanted to finish just for my parents. You know, like that was like my #1 goal. And I was never the smartest kid. I never had the best grades. I was just smart in a way where I would figure out how to strategize which classes to study for and which classes I can cheat off of to copy other people, or which classes I could get notes from. So I was, you know, I was your average Asian American girl. And I finished school, I moved back home, and I knew that I wanted to move back home so that I could spend all my time building Honey Belle, right? But then after I moved back home, I thought to myself, okay, I must get a full-time job or else my parents might disown me. You know, after 4 years, after them sending me 4 years to a university, I better get myself a full-time job. So I got myself a full-time job. My ex-manager is actually here right there in the crowd. Hi, Ed. So I had my first full-time job after college, and I was making like $11, $13 an hour. And you know, I would be working on Honey Belle, you know, during my lunch hour, and I would go to work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., go home, clear the kitchen tables, and then work on Honey Belle from 6 p.m. to midnight almost every day. And one of my mentors asked me one day, he said, why have you not went all in yet with Honey Belle? Why have you not, you know, went like just gung-ho, like just all in? And, you know, I was like, that's a very great question. And I really thought about it to myself. And after a lot of reflection and some self-discovery courses, I discovered, you know, what was stopping me from pursuing Honey Belle this whole time is fear. Fear of disappointing myself, fear of disappointing my parents. And I really had to set all that fear aside to pursue what I'm doing right now. So all of these reasons, I had so many reasons to not move forward with Honey Belle. One, I've never owned a business before. I'm just your average Asian American girl, not knowing, you know, anything about the business world. I don't know what it takes. I don't have all the resources, all these questions, all these reasons for not chasing after what I really wanted. So I invite you today to be unstoppable, because what it's like to be unstoppable is to have fear. It's not about not having fear. It's about having fear and then acknowledging, like, okay, what is it really that I'm committed to? What is it really that I want to achieve? You know, what is it really that I want to create in this world? What's my contribution? And if you stick to that and then put all the fear aside, you can practice being unstoppable. So my first action of being unstoppable was to leave my job and to pursue this full time. So I left my job in 2015 to pursue this full time, and this company has grown from, you know, $50,000 to $100,000 to $500,000 to over $1 million, and it's just really has been practicing being unstoppable wherever there is just all these reasons, all these fears, all these circumstances that doesn't seem like it's likely to have whatever you're committed to have happen. In 2018, my brand got picked up by Ulta. Does anyone know Ulta? Ulta Beauty? So Ulta Beauty picked up our company, and we had 3 products. We launched 3 products in Ulta in 2018. They picked up 3 of our body products, and I was like, darn, they didn't pick up any of my facial stuff. Why? But I was so excited to just enter into this beauty mass market store, this retailer with over 800 stores, and we were in all their stores, right? We're super excited. Our team is producing the product. So when we were launching with Ulta, that's when we started working with contract manufacturers. Before then, we were making everything in our facility in Brea, California. And we were hand making everything. We got the deal with Ulta, and a few months before Ulta launch, we started working with contract manufacturers to get our product mass produced to be able to distribute into all the stores. 2 weeks before our launch, the contract manufacturer fell through. None of our supplies were there. We didn't have everything we needed, and we had to pull out of our contract manufacturer. We borrowed a 16-footer truck and took 5 separate trips to collect all of our materials, all of our pallets from the contract manufacturer. And I decided, I made this executive decision, like, hey, we're gonna be doing production in-house. We have 1 week to produce what we usually make in about a month. And we're not gonna stop until we produce and fulfill Ulta's order. So for back to back, we spent hours making soap in our facility. And we spent, I think, 18-hour days back to back. We divided all of our crew, all of our staff members into 2 different shifts. We invited volunteers. We started asking people, you know, for help on Instagram. My grandma and a lot of cousins and Calvin's sisters came to support. Even Amber Liu, the K-pop star. Does anyone know Amber Liu? K-pop, she came to help. And we were able to produce everything in 1 week and ship it to Ulta. So that was like a huge deal for us. 8 months later, Ulta comes knocking on our door and says, hey, you guys aren't making your sales goals. You guys aren't selling enough volume per square footage. We were devastated. I was devastated. I was like, wow, am I a failure? You know, like, what did I do wrong? And now that I'm really talking about being unstoppable, in that some horrible things may happen like that. Some challenges, you know, some things that you've expected to do might not go how you expect it to go. And you know, when Ulta told us that we weren't making their sales goals, that we weren't making their sales volumes, and we had to pull out and exit their stores, I was like, wow, you know, we worked so hard for this, you know, and I could either just fold right now and be like, wow, this isn't meant to be, or I can use this to empower me and learn from it. And now, next month, we're launching with CVS, 13 SKUs and over 400 doors. So when one opportunity closes, another one really opens up. And now where our company's headed is that I'm outsourcing all of our production, all of our fulfillment, and we're focusing on, we're building a company that's all remote in this modern day and age. And it's just really exciting for me because this is something that I've never done before. And it's super scary to me as an entrepreneur. And you know, everywhere you guys are right now, every time you're walking on a new path that you've never walked on before, it's hard, it's scary, it's stressful. And I just want you guys to know that you guys aren't alone. That everyone out here in this room is dealing with something, is dealing with some sort of something that's stopping them. And to be a community, to be able to connect with each other and share with each other what your challenges are, what your fears are, it'll only allow other people to contribute and for that fear to dissipate and for you to just go for it and get everything there is to get out in life. And I invite you to just really take on being unstoppable somewhere in your life where that matters to you. And I didn't get a chance to connect with that many of you yet during our networking Instagram follow. I think I reached like 5 people. But if you look up on Instagram, my handle is Iris Cherng, IRISCHERNG. And connect with me, DM me, and let's be friends. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. And we haven't even started the networking part. You guys having fun? Yeah? So I'm going to introduce, again, Bryan and Maggie, as well as Eric, and they're going to be talking about what they'll be talking about, and then we'll get you guys going, all right?
All right, cool. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Thank you to Andy and Iris for speaking and sharing your knowledge.
I just wanted to thank all of our sponsors, the Golden Marrow, YunExpress, Kathie Lee, Haven City Market, Shutter Bar, Honey Belle, Passion Planner, Orng Cnty, 888 Productions, and Firelight Digital Media. I also wanted to thank Kristoffers Lee. Christopher, can you please stand up? Kristoffers Lee is one of our sponsors for the event. He is in e-commerce and digital marketing. So I just wanted to thank Christopher and all of our sponsors for sponsoring this event.
We're going to start the fundraising part. Reason being is that we want to raise money to throw our future conference toward the end of the year. We want to be able to create a conference in Las Vegas. That's our goal. And to do that, we need some fundraising help. We also want to start our new initiatives as well. We want to be able to create media productions through Asian Hustle Network to highlight entrepreneurs around the world. And to do that, we need to help fundraise and get things started.
All right, hey everybody. I know I talk a little bit louder than most since I do a lot of public speaking events. If I can have all the volunteers for AHN help quiet the backside, because this is an opportunity they don't want to miss out on. So everybody on the backside, if you guys can quiet down, I'm going to introduce myself and basically entire mission and the fundraising portion here for AHN. So I'll give Thank you, Kevin. Yes, thank you guys so much. If you guys can give a round of applause to both our speakers and Bryan and Maggie. Thank you, Kevin. Awesome job. All right, everybody. So this whole portion is the fundraising portion. My name is Eric Y. Chen. I'm one of the moderators, and I sit on the board here with the awesome Bryan and Maggie and a few of our team members here. So what I do back up in the Bay Area, I came specifically down for this event because Calvin and his entire team here has done such a great job putting this entire event together. It kind of puts the NorCal event to shame. So good job to you SoCal people coming out on a Sunday afternoon. I'm embarrassed, but I'm here and you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. So one of the biggest things that we have in AHN and what the entire community is about is to help uplift those of you who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, starting a side hustle. And so this is what I did. I was always working corporate. I was just a sales guy doing tech sales. I was selling at Google, selling digital ads. And one of the biggest things on a day-to-day was talking to all of these entrepreneurs on the phone and realizing that me being in corporate, I was on the wrong side of the telephone because I'm talking to these guys making millions of dollars in a one-man shop, two-man team, whatever it may be. And so that's where I really got my inspiration from, just being able to jump over and take the risk, take the plunge. And of course, my first venture, I lost $10,000 just on a whim of bad business practice with factories, didn't know what I was doing, right? So with that comes a lot of experience, and the whole point of the Asian Household Network community is to help people like you, if you guys have business ideas, wanting to start off. So what we're doing is we have a Patreon link that I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen, is to raise or give away $1,000 to our members in AHN to basically be able to start up their company or use that as a fund to accelerate their business, whether it's a marketing thing, to push up their business, start their first batch of production, whatever it may be, right? So if you guys didn't see the announcement in the Facebook group, we launched it, February 1st? February 1st, and we have 2 weeks to collect entries. So if you guys are interested in winning $1,000 to fund your business or business idea, all you guys have to do is a video submission into the thread. So you guys can look it up for the AHN giveaway within the Facebook group. And this is probably the easiest $1,000 you guys could win in any type of system or lottery or whatever it is. I even asked Bryan if I can just step out of the moderation team just so I could win $1,000. knowing that you're only going to be competing with 25 other people at most per month. So this is probably the easiest $1,000 you could get. So make sure you guys check that out. So what we're doing on the Patreon is to collect the money and the funds. So you're giving back to your community, right? The whole point of the community is to inspire other Asian hustlers, other business opportunities within our community. So that's what we want to be able to focus on. So if you don't want to do Patreon, Patreon basically takes the monthly donation that you're doing. I'm a Patreon member, I'm doing the highest VIP level, so my money every month is going into this initiative so we can help other business entrepreneurs with their ideas. You guys can also do a GoFundMe, or donate into the GoFundMe if you guys want to do a one-time donation into the event. So what's happening now is that this group, like these guys have mentioned, has grown to almost 30,000 members within 3 months, and that's unheard of. And I think that is exactly why you guys have been inspired to come out here to today's event to really feel the entrepreneurial spirit, the hustle, especially within the Asian community here, where we're underrepresented here in the US, and then being able to provide a positive impact. So a lot of the funds that we're raising on our own is to be able to provide a bigger infrastructure, bigger support in order to keep fueling events like this. And like Bryan mentioned, our goal is to host a large 1,000 person conference over in Las Vegas and basically be able to support it worldwide. We have our Australian members, people globally over in Asia, all interests coming together to support our cause. So this is a global movement, and I'm really excited to do that. So if you guys get a chance, on the back of your guys' card, you have the links for the Patreon and the GoFundMe. But for today, I literally sprung this opportunity on Bryan and Maggie just a few minutes ago. So what we're doing today as a call to action, if you guys want to support AHN and help further our growth to keep building out the community, is to donate today. So the easiest thing I'm sure most of you guys have is a Venmo. If you guys Venmo Asian Hustle Network, you'll see Bryan's beautiful face on the Venmo profile, all right? What we're doing today is the highest donation amount today only will get a dinner paid by me, sponsored by StartPad, the company that I run, to a dinner with Bryan and Maggie, the co-founders of Asian Hustle Network. So having a one-on-one opportunity to have dinner with Bryan and Maggie. So if you guys feel compelled to donate to the Venmo for this opportunity, you guys feel free to whip out your phones on Asian Hustle Network, and the entry would be, you guys can donate as much as you guys want, $1. We'll consider $10 as like the minimum to consider it as an entry into the event to get an opportunity to sit down with Bryan and Maggie for dinner, which we'll plan later on. And my budget is, I don't know, $250 dinner with these guys. All right, so it's a huge opportunity to sit down with these founders, and then a one-on-one consulting call with me if you guys have a business idea, business opportunity, whatever you guys want, you guys can schedule out with me for the highest person to donate today. So if you guys want, all that money goes into the initiative, into Asian Hustle Network. And I do want to give a shout out to one of our moderators and board member, Min Park. And our last, if you can stand up, Min, he's part of the Omakase Capital Group. He donated $1,000 to the NorCal SF event. And I know I just gave you guys SoCal people a shout out, so let's not put NorCal to shame with a little fundraiser. So just to finish off with that, we'll announce whoever has the highest donation at the end of today, and for a dinner with Bryan and Maggie. So thank you guys so much for joining here. Looking forward to growth with you guys.
All right, thank you guys. And for you guys that joined in, you guys did not miss the networking part. Thank you guys for coming. I want to make a quick announcement. Thank you guys for being here. I shared it earlier that this network is stronger than Google. Whatever business that you've ever dreamt of, whatever life that you've ever dreamt of, is available in this network. All you got to do is shout, ask that question that you've wanted. If you want to be in the CBD industry, if you want to get into the food industry, the clothing industry, you'll get answers within seconds, if not minutes. And right now, I would like to take the time to acknowledge the core planning committee team. If Kevin CEO, Kathie, Wong, Bonnie, and Lauren can come up here, please. And we have Bryan and Maggie, the speakers. And Andy and Iris, if you guys can be up here. You can talk in my shirt. Come over here, Vivian. You can stand over here. There you go.
This is real. Hi, everybody. My name is Vivian Cao. I'm here on behalf of Senator Ling Cherng, who represents Orange County, San Bernardino County, and LA County. So SoCal is where it's at. I had this long spiel, but long story short, thank you so much to all the people who put this together. Maggie and Bryan, Calvin, Kathie, the speakers, Iris, and Andy, thank you so much.
Also Bonnie and Laura.
And
Laura, yeah.
I had it for everybody.
Yeah.
I just ran in. With that said, you guys, please use your voices. This is the 1 year that everybody's going to be listening and paying attention to the Asian American community. This is the year that you guys can get all the funding you guys want because everything renews. If you guys need any help on AB5 or any of the regulations with respect to your business, please reach out to your electeds. They're going to listen this year because it's the election year, okay? If you guys need any help, let me know. Thank you so much, everybody, again, and have a great day. Good luck with your businesses, and Happy New Year.
All right, and I'm going to take this real quick. So I want to acknowledge Bryan, Maggie, Laura, Bonnie, Kathie, Iris, Kevin, and Andy for being out here and killing it. You know, you guys really were the ones that made this happen. If it weren't for you guys here, this wouldn't have happened. So thank you guys once again. I'm gonna leave this with Kevin to break you guys up into the networking portion. It's gonna be insane. So this is what you guys came for. So thank you guys once again. We're gonna take a selfie real quick up here before the madness. And then we're gonna do one of those energy videos. Okay? Are you guys ready for this? If you guys are ready, 1, 2, 3, woo! All right, video real quick. We're gonna do an energy video. This is all about energy this year. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, Kevin, take it away.